All right. I think I keep my funny hat. Should I take it off? No, I'll put it on. It's cold here. Hey everyone, hope you're right. So today we're in front of another beautiful place. Hope you can see it. This is called the Vezzolani Hubby. I don't think you can see my eyes though. It's very dark. Yeah, put my hat here in my pocket. So this is called the Vezzolani Hubby, and just short comment on this place. Legend goes that this place was the idea of this place came to Charlemagne, who actually passed through here during his reign. But the first documents related to this abbey date back to 1095. So we're speaking about the 11th century. Are we? I think so. Yes, 11th century. And so just to give you an idea of some perspective on that period, if we speak about Europe, especially northern Italy, that's the time of the struggle between the Emperor Henry IV and if I'm not mistaken, is Pope Joseph VII. It's a struggle between the Holy Roman Empire and the Catholic Church, and the struggle was about who had the final right to appoint bishops and even the Pope. Because in case you don't know, if you're Catholic, the way the Pope is elected now pretty much was the topic of a big struggle between Emperor Henry IV and then Emperor Henry V and the popes. Several popes. So if I remember correctly, there was Pasquale II and finally Urban II. And 1095, if I'm not mistaken, the first crusade was launched in around that period. I can't remember the exact date. It could have been 1092, I'm not sure. But it was one of the darkest periods of Europe. You had the Spanish Caliphate, Al-Andalus on one side. You had the Muslim push towards the plains of Anatolia and heading towards Byzantium, which was later conquered, something like 400 years later. And on top of that, you had this enormous crisis between the temporal powers, so the Holy Roman Empire, and the spiritual power, the Catholic Church. A very interesting period if you are into history. And who knows, maybe, if I show you some other buildings, we'll get into that and maybe more details. So, and as I'm recording this video, we're in the middle of the third wave right here in Europe, or I should say the European Union. And today I just wanted to talk about something which is the topic of today's ramble, you could say, rant, is what is physical theater? Now, that's a tough question, because unlike other forms of art, I would say, or genres, if you speak about music, pretty much you know what jazz is, or heavy metal, or so on. The physical theater really covers a broad spectrum. So when launching this festival, we knew this was going to happen, and we didn't want to limit ourselves to a specific genre. But by and large, physical theater covers stuff like mime, clowning, dance theater, and much more. Now, how could you define something as physical theater? For example, if I see a guy juggling 3 balls, is that physical theater? And I would say no. Or somebody doing just like, a mime skit, which is like a minute long. I would not call it theater, so it's certainly physical. That's very subjective, by the way. What we're striving is to look for shows that are like 45 minutes long or longer and have some kind of theme behind them. Now, when I say theme, doesn't mean necessarily a story. They can be character-based, but certainly you want something underneath what you're doing, okay? It can't be just you doing something crazy or acrobatics or whatever. It's got to be much more than that. But it is an important topic, because what we realized, especially last year, what is physical theater for us is not physical theater in other parts of the world. For example, when we received more than 7 or 8 applications from the United States of America, well, we kind of realized that their definition of physical theater is completely opposite to ours. So I come from a school, a method of theater, which is called le coq. And he kind of gives me the impression that in America, if I say physical theater, it has to do much more with dance or something like, I don't know, dance with a touch of acrobatics or something like that, I could say. So I'm going to give you right now our definition of physical theater for this festival. And I have to take as an example jazz. So if you know anything about percussions or drums, in jazz, when you play the drums, you play from the right, bang, 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 ching, cha-chung, ching, cha-chung, ching, cha-chung, downwards. You don't play from the bass upwards. So, and it's the same with physical theater. You want to use the body first and language afterwards. So it's a different concept than say prose. Okay, in prose you're really concerned with the text, and basically all the action on the stage is kind of text based. And with physical theater we say it's just the opposite. It's like jazz. So you concentrate on the movements of what you're doing, and then you may add something underneath that. So for example, if you were to see what's it called, a script of a physical theater show, now it doesn't have to be silent in order to fall into that genre. Now for this festival we want them silent. We want silent shows because they must be understood by any kind of audience. But just in general, if you were to see the script of a physical theater text, probably, reading the text, it would not make that much sense at all, or it would be very dull. And that's because watching the action on stage. So it can be text based, but like jazz, you got to begin constructing everything from the right, and in this case it would be your movements. Now I'll give you some pills about the history of physical theater, the different genres and stuff like that, but I'll leave you with that because I want to shoot short videos and show you these beautiful places. Now here we are in Vezzolano. Once again, this is the district of Asti and the region is Piedmont. My name is Tom from Fisico, the Alba International Physical Theater Festival. Should have done that before, it doesn't matter. Hey, just starting doing this, so have some pity, guys. And well, I'll just see you tomorrow then. Okay, bye bye, take care.